Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, back again with some more delicious wrestling news. This time we're all going to focus on rumours surrounding WrestleMania and post-WrestleMania as well. So there's going to be some rumours involving Braun Strowman's mystery partner. There's news of a historic, massive, all-time, huge WWE Superstar who looks likely to be appearing in a guest role at WrestleMania. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships are up for speculation in terms of the stipulation of that match, but let's start off and talk about Asuka. SC Scoops have reported some very interesting news regarding Asuka and her post-WrestleMania feud. She has been advertised for several live shows after WrestleMania against Nia Jax. I would not have expected that at all, particularly because Asuka will be challenging Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which implies that she's probably going to become a SmackDown superstar even if she doesn't win the title, although I think she probably will win the title. And then Nia, of course, has the chance to become the Raw Women's Champion. So is this going to be like a champion versus champion angle if they both win? Is it going to be Nia going over to SmackDown if she fails to beat Alexa Bliss and then she'll challenge Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship? Is Asuka going to fail and come back to Raw? I can't see that one happening, especially with her undefeated streak still intact. So a lot of different possibilities that have been brought up by this rather surprising news, but I should point out, as always, the card is subject to change. This could well be a false advertisement to try and throw us off the scent, although would WWE really do that? I'm kind of doubting it. I reckon this is a legitimate feud that's being set up. I just can't work out the reason why. I just can't work it out. Now over to Sports Illustrated and our old friend Justin Barrasso. You may remember Barrasso came in for a lot of flack when he reported that Rey Mysterio will be John Cena's WrestleMania opponent. Of course, it's now become apparent that his opponent is very likely to be The Undertaker, not Rey Mysterio at all, even though Barrasso was like, oh, it's going to be Mysterio. There we go. Now Barrasso's saying that Mysterio, he seems quite oddly obsessed with him, could be in a different match at WrestleMania. I reckon he's just heard that Mysterio is free and that Vince wants him for Mania, and he's just trying to slot him in anywhere he can find. The rumour this time, though, is that Mysterio is hotly fancied by Vince McMahon to be Braun Strowman's partner in that Raw Tag Team Championship match against Sheamus and Cesaro. Now, obviously, this all depends on how quickly Mysterio recovers from his bicep tear, which kept him out of the recent New Japan Strong Style Evolved show in Long Beach, California. He was supposed to be wrestling Jushin Thunder Liger, but instead Will Ospreay stepped in, and they had a good match, him and Liger, and he ended up defeating Liger, and Mysterio was there at ringside, and they all put each other over, and it was very nice. And then Marty Scurll got involved and ripped off Mysterio's mask, and he hit his face, and it looks like they might even be building to Scurll versus Mysterio at some point down the line. But apparently Vince, according to Justin Barrasso, Vince wants Mysterio involved at WrestleMania, and he wants him to potentially be Braun Strowman's partner, if healthy. Now on to news about the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, which will feature, of course, the New Day, the Usos, and the Bludgeon Brothers. Now, various people on Twitter reported that the WWE app sent them a notification and then quickly deleted it, suggesting that that match is going to be fought under a TLC stipulation. WWE have kind of got into a bit of a tradition over the past few years of having at least one big ladder-based match on each show. So last year, of course, we had the big Raw Tag Team Championship match where the Hardys returned to a humongous pop. The year before that, at WrestleMania 32, there was an Intercontinental title ladder match, which Zack Ryder ended up winning in a huge upset. And the year before that, there was another Intercontinental Championship ladder match, which Daniel Bryan won. It was his last title victory before having to retire. Of course, now he's back. Tremendously exciting. But I wouldn't be surprised if this was true. Not only did it come from the WWE app and then was deleted, but also there's no ladder match yet announced on the WrestleMania card. And I think if any match is going to be good from a stipulation perspective and how it fits with the wrestlers, I think the New Day, the Usos, and then the bigger Bludgeon Brothers make for a very interesting dynamic in that sort of match. And finally, betting odds on The Rock showing up at WrestleMania are shockingly low. Like, you wouldn't stand to make much at all if you put a little bit of money on The Rock making an appearance at WrestleMania, which seems to suggest that he will be turning up in New Orleans to join the biggest party of not the summer, that's SummerSlam, the biggest party of the spring. Not got the same name to it. Will The Rock stride out on the grandest stage of all is what I'm trying to say. Of course, we all remember that The Rock came back at WrestleMania 32 to cut a promo, essentially. And not only did he cut that promo and set his own name on fire with a flamethrower, he also had a match. I call it a match. It was officially a match. It was about a 5-second squash of poor Eric Rowan. This raises questions in my mind because obviously WrestleMania 32 had all kinds of huge names. We saw The Rock there, Austin, HBK, Foley were all involved in some respect. And then at 33, there was less of that. It was more of a show focusing on the current roster. Or, well, I mean, you had older names or less frequent names like Goldberg, Lesnar, Undertaker, that sort of character. But at the same time, there wasn't like Austin running out to stun somebody as we saw the year prior. So is this WrestleMania going to revert to what we saw in Texas at WrestleMania 32 and be more of like an all-star game kind of thing where big beloved figures from the past all come back? Certainly The Rock seems like he's going to be there, but will many others as well? Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me on Twitter at JackTheJobber. You can follow all of us at Cultaholic, and you can catch our Patreon as well, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And one more thing, never ever forget, of course, to join us.